Welcome to John S. Sports Channel, and it's back again with the AI predictions, this time for 25-26 season. So we're looking at next season, and we're going to have a look at what AI has predicted for League One for 25-26. It's also predicted, we've asked it to predict the who's going to get promoted from League Two in that fourth slot. And we've asked it who's going to get promoted in the third slot for League One. It's come out in League One with Charlton. I will probably agree with that. I think they've got the most the bigger chance here. They've been pretty clinical all season. In League Two, I think Walsall are the ones it's gone for. Probably a good choice. I think that they have been overall pretty impressive for quite a long stint of that campaign. I think that we're going to go with those, and we've allowed AI to continue with that. So where does it go? We'll start with the bottom and we'll work up just like we usually do. So in 24th position and straight up from League Two, it's straight back down with Walsall. Now you can see where AI is coming from as you look through this. Don't shoot the messenger, because if you look at the teams that are in League One, no, I don't think there are many outstanding teams in there. However, there are a lot of very even teams in here. It's going to be quite a difficult one to predict, I think, when I get through to doing mine. I hope you give me your predictions as well in the comments. So do like and subscribe. Give me the comments down below as to where you think your team will finish in 25-26. Like I said, Walsall in 24th. I think I can see that. I can see at least one, possibly two other ones coming up struggling. Walsall, yes, I think that they may very well be in that bottom six. In 23rd, a little bit of a shock for me, but in 23rd, they've got Stevenage Borough. Now, I think that that they are quite capable of playing some good football, and they weren't particularly bad this season. It's going to be interesting to see that. Stevenage Borough in 23rd. What do you think, guys? In 22nd, yet another shock, but now we're seeing that there's not many teams we can put in the bottom, is there? I mean, which ones are you putting in the bottom four? It's got Exeter City. So in 22nd place, it's got Exeter City. Now, I'm looking at them and thinking they were reasonably good last season. They were reasonably okay. They didn't really ever look like they were destined to go down big time. So I'm a little bit surprised about the Exeter City position. 22nd position, Exeter City. In 21st and last team to go down, we've got Burton Albion. Now, I would have expected them to be there, considering how AI is looking at it from the team that's there now. And should they continue in the form that they finished with, where would they finish when you look at all the other teams around them, the teams coming up and the teams coming down? 21st position, Burton Albion, what do you think? I think that's probably a pretty good bottom four there. However, we have to go up the league a little bit, don't we? So we'll quickly go up. I have to scan through the AI information here. And in 20th position, and I certainly don't agree with this one, really don't agree with this one. In 20th position, they've got Mansfield Town. And Roy must be turning over in his grave here. Mansfield in 20th position. Look, They had a poor run at the end of the season. That's what AI is looking at, isn't it? This is where AI doesn't work, isn't it, guys? Where do you think Mansfield are going to finish? I think it'll be a lot. I think it'll be a fair bit higher than that. But they've got AI 20th position, Mansfield Town. Wow. And Northampton are in 19th. So in 19th, we're climbing up the table now, trying to get these into halfway. And most teams are thinking, look, just stay halfway at least and we'll be happy. Northampton Town 19th. Yes, that's about right. I think that they could they could slip lower because of the good teams that are around there. And the teams that have come up in first and second in League Two are pretty good. So I think that Northampton Town 19th is probably just about where I'd be putting them at the minute before we start seeing any transfers. In 18th, we start seeing the teams coming up now starting to appear. They've got Bradford City. Now, Bradford were up and down last season. They played well, and people were really talking about them in the first couple of months, saying how well they're playing and how well they're going to run riot in League Two. And then they started that a dull period. Then they sort of came back and a little bit more of a flat period. Then back again. They were prone to a bit up and down. I don't know why, but 18th position, probably about right at the minute. Let's see what happens over the summer period, shall we? AI, 18th position, Bradford City. Now we're starting to get into that middle flat section, and we see another team that I know why they're doing this. I'll say who it is first, and then we'll say why I think AI has put them here. In 17th position, we have Leyton Orient. Now, I know what you're thinking. How can a team that did so well last season and in the playoff final, how can they go right the way down to 17th? Because the team who loses in the final usually has an absolutely torrid next season, because a lot of their good players tend to get stolen and moved upwards, and the team does quite poorly next season. If they can keep their team together, if they can stop that usual rot straight after losing the final, if indeed they do, a 17th position to me is really, really low. I can't see them losing all their good players, and I just think that this may be a bit of a hogwash for me. 17th position for AI is Leyton Orient. And we then go to the next section. So let's see where the next section is. So we're going to go with 16th. Now, 16th position. I'm not too worried about this. This is my team, 16th position. AI has Rotherham United. Now, Rotherham United actually played rather well in those last few games, and the results were quite good. They picked up changing manager to Matty Hamshaw, and I'm pretty sure that they should be, if AI worked as it should do and looked at how we finished the season and tried to project that onwards, I think we should be closer to the sort of 12th, 13th, 11th, 12th, 13th personally. But 16th position, AI has Rotherham United. What do you think, Rotherham United fans? I think that's a little bit poor. 15th position now, and where do you put these teams coming up from League Two? They plump for 15th position, a team coming up from League Two, Doncaster Rovers. Now, personally, I think that they played really well, but they had problems, and they weren't, for me, they weren't sort of running riot in League Two. I think that they will have an issue in League One. There is a bit of a difference in League Two between League Two and League One. League Two is a lot of it is dark arts. A little of it is dark arts in League One, but not a great deal. This team could find it a little bit more hard than what AI is thinking. I think this is quite a high position for Doncaster Rovers. So in 15th position, we have Doncaster Rovers. In 14th, the other team up from League Two, Port Vale. Now, Port Vale I can see doing well. They were actually really consistently good. They did have a few, they weren't completely consistent. They did have a few periods of not playing that well. But I think Port Vale, 14th position, they'll probably be quite happy with that. And looking at the teams in there, it's going to be so flat. They could quite easily be 14th for me, and I think they'd be quite happy. Somewhere between 14th and 18th, I think, is probably at the minute where I'm thinking. So AI for 14th has Port Vale. Then we go to 13th. Now, they're really picking on teams here that were consistently average. So we're going for the teams that are consistently average. Which ones would you think were consistently average all the way through the season and got on the beach pretty early? Well, in 13th position we have Peterborough United. Now, of course, Peterborough United finished the year with a game against Rotherham, and of course, to me, they really did play pretty decent football all the way through the year. They have some really good players as well. Yeah, they've changed style, and they have had to try and move that style around a little bit just to try and get the best out of their new way of playing. Did it work? I don't think it worked straight away. It worked gently a little bit more and more. I think it will work next season. I think 11th is probably a little bit low for me. I think that would be a couple of places higher. What do you think? Like, subscribe, give me your league predictions for next year. Lincoln City are then 12th. We're going into the top half. Lincoln City, they're thinking here that this team is just going to be consistently average. This team wasn't consistently average last season. It played some damn good football, and then it just sort of faded off into, okay football for the top half. For me, this Lincoln City side, if they can get some consistency throughout the season, this side is more than capable of finishing well above 12th. However, AI for 12th position has Lincoln City. In 11th, and we're starting to see the sides now that are capable of improving that side and having really good performances. Sides that already have the skill level in their team. Remember, AI is looking at what you have now as a team, not who you're going to recruit over the summer period. We have in 11th place Wigan Athletic. I like that side. I think that side had a lot to offer last season. Just to me, didn't give as much as I expected them to give. It was just a lot better than what I thought that team would do. I thought that team would do better than what it did. Sorry. I think that's a little bit low to me. I think 11th place. They're probably going to be pushing now for a really good start, and if they can get a good start, that momentum could easily push them into the top 6. In 10th, yet another contentious one. In 10th, we have Luton Town. Yeah, we actually go out of the top 6 for Luton Town. They have got parachute payments, remember. And they will be spending them because there's no FFP, there's no financial fair play. And when they go up, if they did go up, they'll certainly be thinking about how much money's coming in and how much money's going out. And that because they've got this parachute payment, that's not going to be an issue to them, is it? So 10th position, we have Luton Town. Really can't see that one either. So I'm stunned. In 9th position, probably a team I would expect in 9th. Wow, for once we've got somebody that agrees with me. In 9th position, we have Blackpool. Now, I think Blackpool do have the abilities for finishing higher, but how many have I said that to so far? And you start to realise that this top end it's not as one-sided as it was last season. But there's a lot of pretty good sides, and there's a lot of sides that can do very well in this league. So about 8th, one position above them, because we've got to look at the teams above them here. 8th position, we have Reading. Now, Reading, of course, being taken over, and the owner is not new to the football game, is he? Because he's already he's just moved out of one team into the Reading team. So he's not unused to owning football teams. I think he's going to know what he wants to do and know how he wants to take this club forward. And they do need some stability, don't they? Let's face it, they don't deserve all the crap that they've got, those fans. They really have had a tough time of it. And it's lasted way, way, way too long. It really has. So in 8th position, we have Reading. I think that's probably going to be about where I'll put them. In 7th position here, and I really think that this may be, just maybe about right. On the low side, perhaps. 6th position, possibly. I think this side is certainly, it's come down from the Championship. I think this side can push for those top 2 places. It's put them in 7th based on their performances at the end of the Championship. In 7th position, we have Plymouth Argyle. So let's go into the top 6, shall we? And these shouldn't be too much of a shock for you. In 6th place, if you're thinking about the ones that are left, guys, think about it. There's some good teams left. 6 really good teams. Where's it putting your team? In 6th position, we have, drumroll please, Stockport County. Now, Stockport County were really, really good, weren't they? I was surprised that that their performances didn't match in the playoffs. However, yeah, Stockport County, I think, will be just able to get that top 6. Remember, there's some good teams coming down, and there's some equally good teams coming up as well. So in 6th position, we have Stockport County. In 5th, again, another team that were nearly Rans, weren't they? It's Wycombe Wanderers. So 5th position for AI is Wycombe Wanderers. Wycombe Wanderers played well last season. They had a very small squad as well, which didn't help. And when we start getting fatigue at the end of the year, and I think that really, for me, did it. It was the fatigue, not the injuries or suspensions. I think that that really had to be the point where I said, yeah, things started just to get worse and worse, gently. And at one point, Wrexham started to follow them, didn't they? And started to lose a couple of points themselves occasionally. But the Wycombe guys just failed at the last, failed to really keep that first and second slot, and dropped into the top 6, didn't they? So where do we go from there? The top 4. Well, we know you're probably thinking which ones are in there. 4th, we have Barnsley. Now, I put Barnsley 4th last season. I said that they were going to really try and pull in that defence a lot more. I wasn't keen on that defence 2 seasons ago. Unfortunately, they did have a couple of howlers in defence, didn't they? And how many times did my Barnsley subscribers say, we'll lose it in the first few minutes or the last few minutes, and we'll be top notch in the middle? And that's what happened. So Barnsley in 4th, I can see that. I can absolutely see that one spot on. And now you're thinking, where are those teams that have come down? There's at least one more team ready that's come down from the Championship. And here it is in 3rd position. AI, remember AI, not me, has Cardiff City. Cardiff City, very, very consistent. They have got a Championship club. Will they be able to keep on hold of it? Well, AI is assuming that they do. So AI is thinking, that team that came down, is it good enough to be in the top 3? Absolutely. 3rd, well, when we look at who's above them, I think that they will be pushed by these 2 teams. Absolutely. So where does it put the last 2 teams that we're looking at? It puts in 2nd place Bolton Wanderers. Now, Bolton, they started so well, and then they had that really poor patch before they got rid of their boss. And then they started okay, but not really as good as they should do. For me, they needed to really turn it around right as soon as they change manager. Bang, get in there and show the fans what the football their club can do. Didn't really happen for me. I hope that this team can indeed turn it round, and I hope they can get into 2nd place. They do deserve it. They've been hovering around that damn place for so bloody long. I think the fans do deserve it, and that place really rocks, doesn't it, when it's a home game. Absolutely. I think they deserve it. I really do. I think that Bolton Wanderers certainly will be, and again for us 2 years in a row, will be one of the favourites to be in the top two. Huddersfield are, of course, first, because by now you're thinking, well, there's only one team we've not mentioned. It is first place for League One in 2025-26 by AI, remember, is Huddersfield Town. Huddersfield Town were really poor when it came to home games. After that, I think it was January the 1st, Huddersfield subscribers, you realise that up to getting rid of their manager, they hadn't scored at home at all the way from January the 1st. And I didn't realise. And they suddenly scored, I think it was 4 or 5 they scored the next home game when they changed the manager. It really did look like it was going to change. But then it just stalled and went really, really quiet, and they didn't play the football we know they can. They got some brilliant players in there, definitely championship class. And I was just shocked by how bad they played. And I say bad. I know that the Huddersfield fans are saying, we didn't play bad, we were just unlucky. No, you didn't play bad, but you played bad when you consider how good those players can play. When you look at the class and the abilities of those players, and you look at how good you were playing, there's quite a big difference. Those players should have been pushing for that top 2 position, absolutely. And halfway through the season, I predicted in my halfway through predictions that Huddersfield would suddenly turn it round and start pumping into second place. Instead, they dropped out of the top 6 and really put my predictions into shame, didn't they? So Huddersfield Town in first position, and that's what AI has got. First position for 25-26, Huddersfield Town. What do you think, guys? Remember, this is just for fun. It is a bit of AI fun, if you like. It's gone through the two playoffs, and it's gone through League One, and it's tried to work out, based on how all those teams finished, how they should finish if nothing happens within each team. What do you think? Like and subscribe. Yeah, please keep me going. I am struggling at the minute. Please do like, please do subscribe, and we will then see you again for another video.